Well, Jesse, if you've been winging it all day, you've been doing a very good job of it. You're 5-0. Keep up the good work, and we'll hopefully see you a lot the rest of this tournament.
Hopefully. Thank you.
What's up, players? We are back with more action, and we have a backup match here in round five. And Hayu, I have a question. Do you know what's better than even vampires that people like in the format?
I don't know. What is better than vampires?
Well, when they're not playing vampires, they're playing combo. We have two combo decks up against each other this round. So this should be pretty interesting. So we've got Ryan Kundun against Simonas Gerve, and both with really strong percentage win rates here in this format at 60 and 67. I guess almost 61, actually. It's 60.96. And we're coming in with Quintorius combo and Amalia combo. We got to see both of these in action earlier today. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see who can combo off here.
Yeah, these two decks, a little bit kind of two ships passing in the night here, both trying to prey on the vampires deck, both trying to kind of win out of nowhere. And we'll see who gets to do their thing first, shall we say.
Yeah, and taking a look at the decks here, the question I have is, do either of them have any good interaction to break up the other person's combo?
Well, there definitely are some copies of Thoughtseize in Gervais' deck. There's two copies in the main there, and I think there are actually not that many on the side. There's also two copies of Get Lost, which when this Quintorius combo deck happens, if you can kill the first Quintorius in response to the copy effect, that is a way to fizzle the combo. So there are a few ways. Condon has the leyline bindings as well that, of course, can be deployed at instant speed to break up a combo. But I think it's going to be difficult because those effects are few and far between for these players.
And if y'all are paying attention here on the screen, this is a 1-to-1 setup. So we are going into game 3 on this matchup. You get to see the sideboard cards there. And Hayu, looks like Gervais agrees with you in bringing in those get lost as well to try to break up this combo situation with the Quintorius.
Right, and you see Ryan also brought in their copies of Quakebringer, which has some very key text saying your opponents cannot gain life. And that's not something Amalia wants to deal with.
Now, Ryan's draw here is not really that conducive to pulling off the combo, other than making sure that they're going to have their mana here.
Right, and this is the thing with this Quintorius deck. Sometimes you see a hand and you think, wow, this hand does it all. It has the ramp, it has the Quintorius, but sometimes it's a little bit trickier. At least, as you say, Ryan can use these Tanukis to make sure that they're in a spot where as soon as they draw a Quintorius or they draw a Trumpeting Carnosaur, they can immediately deploy it.
Yeah, look at Ryan's really sweating here. Like, what card needs to go back? Like, this is really interesting because I think it would have been easy for a lot of players to say, like, oh, okay, well, I guess we can just get rid of a land. We're going to search with the Tanukis, but they had a different idea in mind here.
Right, and Haywire might coming down on 1 for Gervais. I mean, not a combo piece and not even that effective on board most of the time, but it does do something very important, which is if your opponent has a leyline binding, you can get rid of it.
Yeah, and here's an early Amalia. So if Gervais can find some life gain action, which we do have a life linker in hand, can easily get this going.
Right, and you see, this is where we're going to really see the resilience, I think, of the Amalia deck come in. Although, I mean, Gervais really failed at the first juncture, which is did not draw the land. But if Gervais had drawn the land, would have been able to use Extraction Specialist to get that Amalia straight back onto the battlefield.
Yeah, still has a possibility for that, and really not under any pressure from Ryan at this point. However, picking up a third Corda Calling with only 2 lands and 1 creature here is not really where you want to be.
Yeah, this game has not gone the way that Gervais wanted, but his hand is super powerful. If he can live for another couple of turns and he knows that there's not really that much to fear from Ryan just now, then at least, it's going to set him up well for the long run if he can get there.
Yeah, and honestly, it looks, at least right now at this stage of the game, I was about to say, if we could get an untapped green source, like, this was still functional.
The nightmare draw there, Collected Company.
Yeah, not much we can do here. And Karuga is now on board, threatening big piles of 5 damage at a time. Did find a land.
Okay. I mean, Gerve now is on, right? Gerve can
Yeah.
use Extraction Specialist, get Amalia out of the graveyard, and then has the triple green necessary for Court of Calling to be able to instant speed get the other parts of the combo. I mean, you do need both the Wild Growth Walker and something else to start the chain reaction off, but Gerve has that all in hand, and it's all possible as long as Ryan doesn't get there first.
Yeah, and maybe that's what Gervais trying to figure out here is like, can I afford to tap out? Right? Knowing that they could combo with a whole variety of things in Ryan's deck. It's just, can I afford to just put shields down even for this one turn? Because Ryan's sitting on a lot of mana and 3 cards.
Right, but I mean, sometimes you got to take the risk, right? You're so far behind on mana. I mean, without getting this Extraction Specialist down, it's hard to see how you'll win the game, even if you manage to not lose.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I would have done it
Oh,
because I'm a nobody. But this makes it also tough now. Picking up a Carnosaur can additionally take out the creatures, so kind of just setting Garve back. Oh, not quite to square one, but definitely back.
this is awkward for Ryan as well. They would have loved to have had the untapped land this turn to be able to cast Carnosaur and just combo off straight away. But because that Jetmir's Garden is tapped, they're gonna have to think, okay, do I just play this out? Do I use Fertile Footsteps from the Beanstalk Giant? Can I afford to hold this Carnosaur for do I have to hold this Carnosaur rather to disrupt the combo, or can I afford to, try and make sure that I still have it for my combo next time?
Oh, and this is tough. He did get the combo piece. However, he does have the Carnosaur still to break this up, even if he could fire it off here.
Right. And Wild Growth Walker is slightly awkward here as well, because if Gerve played the Wild Growth Walker, he would still not be able to cord despite having the right number of creatures, right? Because there's not the triple green.
Yeah. Oh, all right, here comes Carnosaur trying to set up some combo pieces. Gonna discover 5.
All right, and now what matters really is what Ryan hits first. If Ryan hits Quintorius, then the game is over, because Quintorius can discover, and then even if Simonas, hits the Carnosaur, hits the Quintorius in response, then you get to copy the Carnosaur. But
Yeah, and here we're just gonna kill the Carnosaur, so we can't copy that.
right, exactly, because it was the Carnosaur, because it was the Spark Double that was hit first. Like, we're gonna play on.
For sure. All right, still a game here. And credit to Garve, just holding on to that get lost, getting into a situation where it was still useful. Now it's just, can we combo out here, either finding the extra parts you need with these Court of Callings or firing off a card to get us 2 other creatures.
Right, and this Spark Double, by the way, getting to copy Karuga and keep both around, since Spark Double makes it unlegendary copy. Is that the 4th chord?
It most definitely is, and I feel the pain here. Anytime you draw 4 of something, especially when it costs that much, it's never feels great.
Simona's playing the 4-chord song here.
Oh my gosh! Like, yeah, I don't know what you do here.
Yeah, I mean, just one land would be exactly what Simona's needed, but not having that land is brutal.
I mean, do you just pass and try to play a chord and just try for next turn? I mean, like,
right, I think you have to, right? Like, I think you pass a turn, end step chord, get your Prosperous Innkeeper, and then untap Wild Growth Walker, and that does let you combo. But not having protection does feel really bad against Ryan, and didn't draw the combo piece, but does have another look at it. Another several looks at it.
Yeah, good news for Garve here though is that it wasn't just a combo piece that got drawn off the top.
Right. It was not the Cavern of Souls, so that's, a good start for Simonas, but this Karuga gets to look at another couple of cards.
Yeah, not anything that's gonna combo this turn, it doesn't look like. So still have time.
Right, but Ryan did find a copy of Bedeck Bedazzle, and that means that Ryan is in turn able to disrupt Simonas' combo this time. And Declan, these games have played out much, much more interactive than I thought they would be.
Yeah, and I think sometimes that's the misconception, right? You see, oh, this combo deck versus combo deck. Obviously, somebody's gonna win on turn 4, and here we are on like turn 7. Like we're still playing Magic.
Well, Simonas is still on turn 4.
Well, that's very true. So yeah, what are we doing here? Probably, I'm assuming just taking the hit, even though it is a big hit. That's 11 damage.
Right, Simonas could do something like put the Extraction Specialist in front of the bigger one just to soak up some damage and then use Chord of Calling before it dies. But it's not a great prospect, and when you have this many copies of Chord of Calling in your hand, throwing away creatures is the same as Stone Raining yourself.
Yeah, fair. But maybe even just gaining the extra life here and triggering the Amalia could have been good enough. Nope, just says never mind. Just take the 11.
Okay, 11 taken.
All right, here we go.
Ryan can actually afford to wait.
Yeah, I think you have to take the Innkeeper here, right?
Right, I think it has to be a life gain effect.
Yeah, I think that's the choice. But nothing wrong with taking your time and looking over the options. But I think also getting the treasure here does play a role, which I think makes that even better of a decision here.
Absolutely.
All right, now you're saying you're tapped down. What do I kill?
Well, Amalia is definitely going to be, public enemy number 1 here for Ryan.
All right, so if Gerve can get an untapped land,
Oh, okay.
you can
Here we go.
play the Wild Growth Walker,
Right.
and then still have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana available. Not quite enough. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well,
Oh no, you'd
it
have
is
5.
enough.
Actually,
Right.
yeah, you could do it.
It very much is enough for Chord. So Wild Growth Walker is going to enable Simonas Gerve to combo off at instant speed. And that's pretty important, Dequan, because if you think about the way that the Contorious combo wins, I mean, right now Ryan is on plan, I don't know, B.5 or something, maybe C.5 with the Karuga beatdowns.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Ryan, wants to rely on this Contorious that it can. The way that Contorious wins, obviously, is it drains your opponent every time you cast a spell from the exile zone. And Simonas, if he can manage to combo at instant speed, can just fade the entire effects of the combo.
Yeah, so maybe he's just going to wait here, see if he does try to kill one of my things, then I'll try to combo.
Right. There's no real need to do it now.
Yeah, or at least block and then try to go off, because otherwise you're going to die anyway.
Right.
All right, setting a stop here. Yeah, it's like saying, let's see what happens. Let me set the stop first. Oh, nope, we're just going to go for it anyway? Okay, I was wondering what that was about.
Always good to be extra sure.
Yes, we're not attacking, I wouldn't imagine.
Karuga definitely is still a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what we're pausing for. Is he deciding maybe if he attacked to gain life? But yeah.
Could be worried about something like Leyline Binding, another Bedeck Bedazzle. There's a lot of scary things out of Ryan's deck.
I think that's the other thing here. Does Ryan kind of have the foresight, and I was gonna say, and actually did not to cycle.
Yeah, Ryan didn't cycle. That's actually very heads up if you think
Yeah,
about it.
to say like the only way Ryan can lose there is if there is actually a chord of calling. So, well, if I don't tap down, then maybe the chord doesn't happen.
Right. And if you think about what Simonas Gerve has been doing, he spent the entire time not playing out cheap creatures and just holding 4 to 5 cards in hand. I mean, Ryan, I think probably has at least has some idea that there's going to be at least a couple of copies of Quarter Calling available.
Man, for as bad as Garvey's game plan went this game, this has been a very cool set of turns we've gotten here on back-to-back situations.
Right. And it was a little bit unlucky, I think, for Ryan also to miss the Quintorius off that trumpeting Carnosaur, but Simonas made full use of that, exploited that situation to the fullest extent, and now we'll get to combo off at instant speed.
Yeah,
Here.
now I think we're saying, okay, I'm going to block both and just go for it. Otherwise, I die here. So if you have it, you have it.
Okay. Ryan has a couple of cycles.
Yep. Well, not just that, but you get to cycle into specifically a ley line, which is really big.
Oh, there's a ley line on top. Okay.
So yet another way to bust up this combo.
Right, but it's just the Amalia combo is just so resilient.
And now have the option for either of a couple of cards next turn that could still possibly combo. Much more difficult now, but possible.
Right. There's still a Wild Growth Walker. I mean, Collected Company is actually, exactly what you want in these spots, right? Normally, we've seen a lot of these Amalia players move away from Collected Company. It is a little bit awkward, a little bit less precise than Court of Calling, but in this spot where you need 2 combo pieces and you don't have very much mana to do it with, Collected Company it could be your savior.
Yeah, this is gonna be a clutch card here. All right, gonna go ahead and use the map, see what's on top. And there's a Quintorius.
Okay.
So now
There's
both
not really
players
about
know
that.
this has to be the combo turn here. Like you've got to hit.
Okay, and there's even the possibility of Collected Company. If you hit 2 things, I think
That's
Simonas
true.
Gerve can then still chord, right?
If let's see, if you get the innkeeper produces another treasure, it's possible. I think you have to. Yeah, you think you have to Collected Company first.
Agreed. Which does mean he has to take another 1 from the mana confluence.
Okay, we did get an innkeeper with one of them.
Okay. I think that means that we will see Gerve combo off, despite having been kind of denied this combo several times already this game.
Yeah, that should be exactly 5 mana to go tutor up Amalia if you need it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually, you have 6 here.
It doesn't even wait for these triggers to resolve.
Yeah, like why not? Let's just go for it. Because really, it doesn't matter what Ryan has here. Like if Ryan has an answer, there's no way you win.
Right, and you know that there's a Quintorius on top. You know there wasn't a second ley line because if there were, it would have been used already.
All right, this is it.
Okay, I mean, so we're going to see Amalia do the thing. She's going to become huge. Everything else dies. Same old, same old. But Ryan, I mean, still, is there any way?
I think here you gain enough to where you don't die to Quintorius completing the full combo.
For sure. But Actually, Ryan could do something like use Quintorius, hope to hit Clever Impersonator, or eventually combo to hit Clever Impersonator, and that copies any non-land permanent on the battlefield. So there's some combination of events where Ryan can say, okay, play Quintorius, go until I hit Clever Impersonator, copy Leyline Binding, and then use that Leyline Binding to take out the Amalia, and Simonas will have an empty board because Amalia is going to kill everything else first.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this game, again, the fact that it was 2 combo decks, there's been way more interaction than I think any of us expected was going to happen here.
Right. And Simonas has made a land drop this turn already, right?
Yes.
I believe. Right. So it doesn't even have the mana to kind of leave up the Boseiju to respond to that play.
With the Boseiju, actually, Boseiju would still only need 1 mana because you do have a legendary.
Oh, of course. Okay. All right. So the line I'm talking about doesn't even exist.
All right. Well, we found what you want. We're gonna put that on top to just minus 50 down the road if happen to still be alive.
Yeah, that Boseiju really does log things up, and Ryan knows about it as well. They can see it in Simona's hand. That's kind of the thing with these Amalia decks. It's all explore, so it's all face up.
All right. Here we go. This has been a crazy sequence of 3 turns.
It really has.
All right, gonna go ahead and cycle because why not?
All right, Simonas, just don't discard the Boseiju.
Yeah, don't misclick here. Now is not the time.
I mean, that interface, those cards are slippery.
I have done that more than once, sadly. Discarded something I wanted to hold on to.
Is that a Leyline Binding?
Yes.
Off the top, Ryan? Oh,
yep.
Cycled from the... Oh my goodness. Okay. All right.
Here come the Quintorius triggers.
The game's back on.
And Ryan's still at 8 here, so could easily get rid of the Amalia without real concern. And they're going to gain a bunch of life here from all these Quintorius triggers.
Right, but there's not really a way, I think, to stop this Aetherfox Reservoir.
Yeah, I think even... Well, I don't know. Let's see how much life we can gain off of, I don't know, what's going to be like 8 Quintorius.
Is it going to be more than 50?
I probably. That's what I'm saying. I haven't done the math. I haven't worked it out, but it feels like it's going to be.
Okay, well, now we're on 4 triggers. So that's 8. So that's going up to 26. Normally you'd think 26, that's quite a lot.
All right. There's another pile. So we're at 26.
Okay, and Ryan can choose either they copy another Quintorius, go up to 10, plus 10 each time, or they copy the Leyline Binding.
Nah, we're just... Oh, okay. I guess we're done. I thought we were going to keep going there.
All right. I mean, the 3/2 is a chump blocker, but it doesn't really do anything about this Aetherfox Reservoir. It just doesn't seem like there's really any way out of it. And you see Ryan extend the GGs there.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Okay. Wow, that was a crazy game.
It's so impressive there from Simonas Gerve. He was stuck on 3 lands, maybe even 2 lands for a significant portion of that game. And just, we felt so bad for him, drawing Court after Company, really drawing all these expensive spells, but really that 3rd land just unlocked everything, and we got to see just how resilient and cool this Amalia deck is.
Yeah, I think we were there stuck at like a situation where he had all 4 chords in hand at one point, facing down 3 big bodies, and somehow still managed to win that. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was fantastic. A masterclass for sure.
Well, yeah, we do have a deck tech for the Amalia combo, so if y'all want to learn